Just about any sport can be dangerous. You could drop a bowling ball on your foot. You could get hit by a golf ball while strolling down the fairway. But there are also sports that are dangerous just by their very nature. If you want to play, the price is accepting that there's a pretty good chance you'll get hurt, or injured, or even killed. Then, there's the most dangerous sport of them all. A sport that required participants to risk everything. Every time. Before I reveal which sport is by far the most treacherous, I first want to tackle some other worthy competitors. So if you're wondering where your favorite activity falls on this list, or you're just an adrenaline junkie who needs a new pastime, here are the most dangerous sports in the world. Number 5. Bullfighting. We've all seen the images. A matador donned in his elegant costume, waving a giant red flag, luring in an angry, determined bull that's digging his feet into the dirt before charging right at the challenger. Rooted in the ancient Roman Empire's gladiator games, the modern version of Spanish bullfighting remains a dangerous sport to this day. No shock there, gladiators weren't exactly known for safety. Since 1700, about 530 bullfighters have been killed in the ring. Aside from the obvious worst-case scenario, a bull running right through you, this ancient sport carries a number of other risks. An errant horn could take out an eye. Something as simple as a scratch or scrape could lead to a debilitating or even fatal infection. Nowadays, medical professionals are on hand to treat all of the common bullfighter injuries, from those that fall under, "that looks like it hurt," to the equally common, "is he dead?" Still, while this has helped rein in the brutal sports mortality rate, you should probably keep looking for a new activity if you're even remotely fond of breathing. Just 4 years ago, 2 bullfighters died in the ring, proving that for all its modernizing, bullfighting is still very, very dangerous. Gary Marvin, a professor of human-animal studies, goes as far to say that if a normal person got into the ring with a fighting bull, they'd be severely gored or dead within a few minutes. Number 4. Freediving. Imagine holding your breath for almost 3 full minutes as you plunge deeper and deeper into water. 50 feet. 100 feet. 150 feet. 200 feet. That's freediving, and many participants can actually go deeper with just a single breath. The current record for a continuous weight dive with fins is 420 feet for men and 331 feet for women. For perspective, a standard American football field is 360 feet. Fortunately, there has only been 1 recorded death in competitive freediving. That's mainly because competitions are only open to experienced participants, have rules and regulations set in place, and include the presence of medical doctors. However, plenty of people go freediving without these sorts of safety measures in place. According to an article on freediving by ABC News, there are about 5,000 freedivers around the world, and an estimated 100 die each year. That same article started by reporting on a champion freediver who died attempting to descend 561 feet, proving how dangerous the sport can be even for those with the most experience. Number 3. Base jumping. Nothing about falling from the sky is going to be especially safe. And yet, base jumpers have found a way to make it about 1,000,000 times more dangerous. These extreme athletes take joy in jumping from fixed objects, buildings, antennas, satellites, or Earth that are usually about 480 feet off the ground. Compare that to at least 5,000 feet when you skydive. The distance is often so small that base jumpers will simply hold a deployed parachute in their hands and then let it go shortly after they jump. Waiting for it to deploy after pulling a cord could take too long. Between 2007 and 2017, 223 people have died base jumping. More than 30 base jumpers died in 2016 alone, making it the sport's deadliest year thus far. One study found that there is 1 fatality for every 2,317 base jumps. That puts your chances of dying at about 0.4% if you decide to take the leap. Literally. Number 2. Mountaineering. Adventurers who take to the mountains find themselves experiencing both the rush of adrenaline and the high risk of injuries or death. In fact, since the first climbing attempt on Mount Everest in 1922, there have been close to 300 recorded deaths on that mountain alone. The biggest hurdle is an inability to control one's environment. Severe weather conditions can be an absolutely insurmountable obstacle for an exposed mountaineer on the side of a giant mountain. The weather can rapidly change from calm, sunny, and warm to windy, rainy, and snowy, making it difficult for even the most prepared mountaineers to adjust. Frostbite is also a very serious threat. Furthermore, mountaineers risk encountering a slew of falling objects like massive icicles, rocks, and avalanches. Mountaineers must be vigilant and focus on their surroundings, in front, above, and below them, to avoid these fatal hazards. Along the way, mountaineers can also encounter crevices or deep cracks in ice sheets or glaciers. Usually hidden by snow, falling into one of these crevices can be deadly. As mountaineers ascend, they may experience altitude sickness, or worse, exposure to UV radiation because the atmosphere gets thinner at higher altitudes. All of these reasons were enough for Professor Sir David Spiegelhalter of Cambridge University, who is recognized as the leading expert on risk in the United Kingdom, to consider mountaineering as the most dangerous sport in the world. His assessment was that mountaineering comes with a 1% chance of death per climb. Number 1. Mountain climbing. Free soloing. But I'm still going to nominate a different sport, albeit a similar one, as the most dangerous sport on the planet. Even with all the ropes, hooks, and other special equipment participants depend on, traditional mountain climbing is extremely dangerous. According to the 2017 Accidents in North American Climbing Report, 2016 saw 38 climbing-related fatalities in North America. This was a bit high, but the average still tends to hover around 30, and yet there's actually a more dangerous version of the sport, which is the one that I'm putting at the top of this list. This take on mountain climbing lacks any sort of safety equipment whatsoever. It's called free soloing, and my heart is pounding just thinking about it. In free soloing, athletes climb mountains without any ropes, harnesses, or anything else that could be remotely construed as a safety device. All they use is their strength, flexibility, focus, and courage. My palms are literally sweating as I think about this. In 2017, Alex Honnold attempted the near impossible free solo climb of El Capitan in Yosemite National Park without a rope. That's over 3,000 feet worth of chances to plummet to the ground. Put another way, El Capitan is more than 3 times as tall as the Eiffel Tower. Between 2013 and 2018, 5 free solo climbers died attempting the same thing. Here's a photo of him falling off the side of a mountain, with a rope and harness this time, thank God. So it's not as though he simply never loses his grip. If you're in the mood to skyrocket your anxiety, I highly recommend the documentary that followed his incredible story, Free Solo. As you can imagine, the Free Solo Climbing Club is a pretty exclusive one. There aren't many climbers who have the experience to attempt these feats, much less the courage required to actually try. And yet, in the past 10 years, 6 free solo climbers have died attempting to scale a mountain without safety gear. In my opinion, it is without a doubt the most dangerous sport in the world. Did I miss any dangerous sports? Not impressed by my list of dangerous sports? Think I missed one? Think one should have been higher? Feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If enough people agree, I'll update this list. For now, I'm going for a nice, safe jog on completely flat ground in broad daylight, with a helmet. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel for more content. This video was brought to you by Runners Athletics, makers of the best running sunglasses for men and women. UV 400 polarized, anti-fog, ultra lightweight, and equipped with spring flex hinges. These sunglasses will race past the finish line while most other sunglasses fall short. Gear up for your next adventure at runnersathletics.com.